Most people know Billy McFarland from Fyre Fest and going to jail, but most people don't know what really happened.
Do you have any of the old, Fyre Fest merch? I'm sure that's very hot in demand.
So no, I had to give everything I had left to the government, and they actually auctioned it off while I was in jail, and it just went for crazy prices. We had hoodies going for $1,000 and these dad hats for literally hundreds of dollars. So definitely hot merch, and wish I had some. There was a guy in jail who told me one time that this is the closest to being in a grave without actually being dead. And that rang so emotionally true, and I think it's just pretty similar to what you said. So, really astute of you to come up with that. At some points there was TV, so there's daytime, news television. I think the political polarization is definitely a little bit different and missed a lot of the social movements that came as a result of the political polarization. I think the whole woke culture definitely took on a life of its own over the past 5 to 6 years, and missed a lot of that. And prison just inherently is very behind socially. So it's kind of weird going from a system that seems like it was stuck in the 1960s to now super woke Manhattan of 2022 or 2023. So yeah, definitely a little bit weird going between those two different universes.
At what point did you realize that, maybe it should have been marketed differently, or maybe you should have shut it down? Or what was that point where things sort of shifted in your mind?
Yeah, so I just hindsight, obviously, I was so wrong and should have realized many weeks, if not months in advance, that we weren't ready. I just had this one track mind at the time that no matter the challenge, it was surmountable. We're gonna figure this out and move on to the next. And I just couldn't take no for an answer. And I just couldn't listen to anybody who was telling me that something was too big to stop this event and stop this festival. So yeah, just didn't have the experience and just didn't have the ability to zoom out and realize how big of a challenge it was. We were trying to make something that seemed so luxurious and so nice that no matter how good of a job we did, it wouldn't have been good enough. And that's a lose-lose battle. And I think we would have attracted the same crowd and made everybody way more excited and way more into it if we were just honest and said look guys, there's this beautiful fucking beach in the middle of the Caribbean that is totally amazing. Let's get 3,000 really interesting people here for a weekend of good music and tons of adventure. We've been fuck yeah, let's go, and not expecting something totally unrealistic. So while I thought the marketing was selling tickets, it was actually creating something that was impossible and really hurt the entire endeavor.
So I heard you were reading about AI in jail. What were you reading?
So I think my favorite AI book in jail is called AI 2040. And it was an interesting combination of a prediction of future technology with fiction short stories of how that technology could actually impact our lives. And that was pretty wild. I think overarching belief is that AI is going to replace humans writing software. So this whole notion that everybody needs to be a software engineer in the next 10 years, I think is going to go the way of machines writing software and humans now competing for attention amongst that software.
What are your thoughts about AI? Are you of the belief that it's going to take over everything, take everyone's job? What sort of role in society do you think AI plays?
Yeah, I think it's hard to think short term. It'll certainly be a detriment to the economy, but long term, as with most technology, will create opportunity. So I don't know, and I feel with most of the biggest technological innovations of the past 20 or 30 years when I've been alive, the greater the fear, the greater the potential positive impact is as well. And I think the fear of AI is equivalent to the fear of the internet in the early days.
Sure.
And we all saw how that totally changed our lives. So I think it's really interesting if you just measure it by the correlation between fear and impact.
It's true, yeah. People were afraid of, mathematicians hated the invention of the calculator. Well, I think that's a good way to end it off. I'm rooting for you to do just that. Everybody else is, that's listening to this is rooting for the same, I'm sure. So Billy, best of luck. We're here if there's anything we can do to help. And thanks so much for coming on, man.